Good morning, my name's Tom, and today is another prep video. Today, I'm just going over the, sorry about the flipped screen. It's easier for me to work this way right now. But we're going over the Fema Appendix B in Disaster Supplies checklist. It's part of a greater manual, hence why it's Appendix B. But you can link directly to the PDF file, and I will have that in the comments and in the video description for you, so you don't have to Google search it if you don't want to. This is a convenient list. The entire first page is first aid supplies. And rather than just saying have a first aid kit, they list the different things they think you should have in your first aid kit, most of which doesn't require a whole lot of training. You may want to have more stuff in your first aid kit. But if you go more extensive than this, then you should probably be taking a bleed stop class or a battle dressing class or whatever. But beyond first aid, CPR, and, well, there's no AED in your home, so you don't necessarily need AED training. But beyond a basic first aid CPR class, you're fine. And everything on this list is cool. But there's 3 different checklists. You should have one for home. You should have one in your vehicle or vehicles. And where you work. So that's a convenient way to think about it. When you have to evacuate, you probably should have a couple of options available if possible. But again, it costs money. So you have to build up that stuff now as opposed to waiting until the week before and then you try to buy everything and it's way too expensive. The second page has 2 different checklists on it. Supplies and sanitation and hygiene supplies. Now, the top of it feels like a bit of an add-on to your first aid supplies. Because those are your medicines, and it also says home, work, and vehicle on those checklists. So they put down things like headache medicine, whether it's aspirin or non-aspirin. Anti-diarrhea medicine could be important. Antacids, laxative, vitamins, prescriptions, extra eyeglasses, so your old pair with of glasses with the scratch across the lens, instead of throwing them out, keep them handy in your emergency kit. And the sanitation and hygiene supplies is, having towels, soap, toothbrushes, toothpaste, and the nice thing about having it all on a checklist here is you're not going to forget a piece. Again, you can add on to the checklist, but this is kind of like a minimum mandatory stuff. Now, third page. Oh, I'm sorry. This is like 5 pages long. Third page. Equipment and tools. On the left-hand side, it's usually not going into survivalist stuff, but more like how to get by over the course of a day or two when you need rescue. There's stuff like having a tent or a compass in there, but there's no it's more like have pliers, have duct tape, have a pop-up tent and a compass, but it doesn't mean bring your axe or your chainsaw. You don't need 50 feet of rope or anything like that. Have a radio, a weather band radio. That's important. So pens, paper, pencils. And I like these Write in the Rain notepads because they don't go bad in the rain. In terms of you know, basic tools, you're good there. Then on the other half, there's 2 checklists there in the tools and equipment. Kitchen supplies, like a manual can opener, because you're probably going to be eating canned food. Resealable plastic bags for storage of things. Sugar, salt, and pepper. I recommend Tabasco. One thing I learned in the military, if the food's no good, burn your taste buds out. And the bottom, comfort items, games, cards, books, toys for kids, food. Now, toys for kids, I think maybe that could be a little bit more expanded, because you got to keep the kids entertained, and there are no screens. Or if there are, the batteries are dead. So, you might want to throw in a battery bank, and for the kids, something they can run with, like a frisbee. If they're into soccer, maybe a hacky sack. Small items and flat items and things that will let them get some energy out. Coloring books. Not just books, coloring books. Crayons. Because you're going to need to find a way to make things fun for your kids as best you can, to make the best of a bad situation, keep them from worried, keep them from driving you nuts at the same time as best as possible. 4th page, we're almost done. Food and water supplies, and clothes and bedding supplies. And again, it's got like high energy stuff like peanut butter, granola, trail mix, that sort of stuff. Vitamins. I threw in cookies and hard candy. I guess that's more of a morale item. Instant coffee, powdered milk. Ugh. But hey, if you gotta give your kids cereal, powdered milk is better than water. And water is also on there. Clothes and bedding supplies, hat, rain gear, gloves, extra socks, extra underwear. So, again, I'm not reading every single item, just highlighting things that I think are important. Blankets, sleeping bags, pillows, sunglasses. Sunglasses can be a lifesaver. And the last item is documents and keys. Documents, that's the one everybody forgets about. Personal ID, cash, credit cards, extra set house keys and car keys, and copies of the following: your birth certificate, marriage certificate, driver's license, social security cards, passports, wills, deeds, inventory of household goods, because insurance, especially when you file Fema, which may end up not being a thing you can do in the future, but they handle that. A lot of people don't understand what FEMA does. That's an important one. See, immunization records, bank and credit card account numbers, stocks and bonds. Okay, and it's not on this list, but I recommend purchasing a watertight, fire-resistant documents bag. I've shown a couple examples on this channel in the past to keep all that stuff in one place, so you can just grab it and go. See, emergency contact list and phone numbers. If you're stuck using a landline, then you're going to have to use an old-fashioned phone book, because we don't remember phone numbers anymore. And a map of the area and phone numbers of places you could go. Yeah, again, if batteries are dead or you need to conserve batteries, then you're going to have to learn how to use a map, like we did in the Dark Ages, before the phone told me where to go. And you used Yahoo directions or Google directions. So there you go. It's a really convenient checklist. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do, unless you're trying to do it the day before an emergency, and then it's damn near impossible. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and have a great day.